What's going on, guys? My name is Victor, and today I'm back with another edit tutorial on Adobe Premiere, and this one is covering Dax's Joker music video. So we're gonna be going over 3 effects, starting with the first one. So this one, you see Dax's face comes off of his face and grows and moves towards the camera. So I'm just calling this one like a face isolation growth effect, but it's basically about masking, scaling, repositioning, some opacity. Might sound a little confusing to you, but super easy, so just stick with me, I'll get you there. Okay, open up your clip in Adobe Premiere and then duplicate the layer. On the duplicated layer, find the frame that you want the effect to be working on and then trim it down to just that. Then you're going to right click that single frame and select Add Frame Hold. Once you drag that clip back out to extend it, the duration that you want that effect to be on, it should now be a freeze frame. So now just go ahead and mask out the face, and you're gonna wanna make sure that that mask is pretty good, because otherwise you're going to see the little clippings of what's behind you as the face grows. So try and get it pretty close onto the face. And it's worth mentioning that this stuff is honestly easier in Adobe After Effects. It's honestly more of a headache to do it in Premiere, but I didn't want to discount anyone who couldn't do this stuff in After Effects or feels too intimidated, because you can honestly do it in both. All right, now that you masked the face, you're going to go to the beginning of that duplicated layer that you did the mask on, and then click the stopwatch for position, scale, and the opacity stopwatch should already be on. Just make sure that's on, and then change the opacity to 0. Now move forward a few frames and turn that opacity back up to 100, scale up and reposition the masked face to your liking, and then click another keyframe on the opacity to keep it at 100, and then move to the end of the effect and return the scale to 100, the opacity to 0, and the position back to wherever it started in the first place or to your liking. That part's not super important. So now you should have a face that appears and gets bigger and then comes back smaller and disappears again. All right, we're moving right along. Next effect. So we're going to be replicating this effect where Dax is rapping. There's a light source behind him and the highlights bloom out and things get blurry and like just kind of hazy, kind of euphoric looking. So if you're practicing this at home or on a music video, just make sure that you have some sort of light source in the background, whether that is the sunlight, a window, a light, a practical, whatever it may be, just something that we can play with the highlights and blur. So for this, I'm using the same clip that we were just working on because I got the window behind me, and now you're just going to have to add Lumetri color and Gaussian blur to your video. Now go to where you want the effect to start, and in Lumetri color, under basic correction, there will be highlights. So click the keyframe on highlights, then also go down to Gaussian blur and click the keyframe there. Then you're going to go to the end of the clip and create 2 more keyframes for both of those things, and then now go to the middle of the effect and then boost the highlights, and then the Gaussian blur I boosted to 22. And then also make sure that you click on the box in the Gaussian blur setting, repeat edge pixels. And now you might be thinking, well, I don't know if I like this because the entire image is pretty blurry and that's not the look that I'm going for. Well, now we're going to create a mask in the Gaussian blur. So make sure you're in that Gaussian blur setting, and now you're going to create a rough mask around your subject. So we draw this rough mask around me, invert the mask, and then crank up the feather. And now I'm not so blurry, but because we cranked up the feather, some of it's starting to blur the edges, which I like because it creates that euphoric and dreamlike look. And it's worth mentioning as well for this is that something to amplify this effect would be if you are already using a lens filter that naturally blooms highlights. So that would be Black Pro Mist, Hollywood Black Magic, or a Dream Effects filter from Prism Lens Effects. All right, next and final effect has Dax looking in the mirror and he's rapping to himself, and then all of a sudden his reflection is not actually reflecting what he's doing in the mirror. And so this is a very simple effect to do as well. So all you gotta do is lock off your camera on a tripod facing the side of a mirror so you can see both the person looking in the mirror and then the reflection. So what I did, I set up the camera in the bathroom and I filmed myself just kind of looking in the mirror, and then I also filmed myself without touching the camera brushing my teeth. So put your reflection on top of the normal layer, and now on that reflection clip, just draw a mask around the mirror. You could also also play around by having the reflection stutter in by chopping every other frame of the reflection clip. And that's how you do those 3 effects from Dax's Joker music video in Adobe Premiere. I hope you learned something from this video. If you did, leave me a like, comment if there is a music video or an effect that you would like me to cover. I'm always looking for new ideas. And if you haven't already, click subscribe. I would love to have you at this channel, and to all my current subscribers, thank you. I really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one.